It is time once again for the Morning Mindset edition of the Live, Build, Change podcast. Thank you for taking the time to orient yourself around the truth of God, because that's what this 5-minute Morning Mindset really is aimed at doing. And if you take the time, not necessarily only with the Morning Mindset, but just even in your own effort to orient yourself around God's way of doing things, you're setting yourself up for a successful day. Now, that doesn't mean all your interactions are going to go smoothly and happily. It doesn't mean you're going to make tons of profit at work. What it means is you, in the way you live life, will be successful in God's eyes, and that is what matters. In recent days, we've been looking at this issue of wisdom and what it is. Well, today I want to kind of turn the table over a little bit, and let's look at what foolishness is. What is folly, in other words? The writer of Proverbs, Solomon, in chapter 9, has a section right at the end where he portrays foolishness as a person, as a woman, and characterizes what she would say and how she would appeal to the people around her. And if you remember, he's done this with wisdom already, characterizing wisdom as a woman as well. And so it's interesting that he does this with folly, and it's just a short little section, so I want to read it to you and talk about it just a little bit, so that we can gain insight into the contrast between foolishness and wisdom. Verse 13 of chapter 9 says, "The woman folly is loud. She is seductive and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house. She takes a seat on the highest places of the town, calling to those who pass by, who are going straight on their way. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. And to him who lacks sense, she says, stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he," see, there's a different person here, "but he does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of Sheol." Wow, that's a pretty sobering characterization of foolishness. Let's look at some of the things. Foolishness is loud. Foolishness is seductive. Yet it knows nothing. You see, the trivial things and the cavalier things that go on in our culture these days, appealing to us to indulge ourselves and to be all about what we want and what we desire, I would consider those to be like the voice of this woman folly. They're loud. They're seductive. You hear it everywhere, and it's very appealing and very winsome. And when mass media gets behind it, my goodness, it's very convincing. But the reality Solomon is teaching us here is that it knows nothing about the value of how to live life. It positions itself in very obvious places, like here it says the door of her house, or in the highest places of the town. Man, that sounds like the entertainment industry, doesn't it? It's calling to those who pass by, those who are going straight on their way. So those who are on a good path are the ones that foolishness is aiming to divert, and is appealing to us to turn and listen to what foolishness, has to say. And it says, to the one who lacks sense, okay, the one who's already unaware of this struggle that's going on between wisdom and foolishness, she says, really something that's very untrue. Stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. What does that mean? Well, it's an appeal to a person to do wrong, because there's this sense that it's going to be enjoyable, or it's going to be good for you. It sounds like the serpent in the garden, the things he said to Eve. But he, the simple person, does not know that the dead are there, and her guests are in the depths of Sheol, which is the place of the dead. I want to encourage you today, think through where foolishness exists in our culture. Where does it assault you? And turn your heart away. Turn your heart back toward wisdom today, so that you can view the circumstances of your lives through the lens of wisdom, and thus be a blessing to your family, to those around you, to the people you work with. And God will use you greatly. Let's talk again tomorrow.